Last episode, we decided to take a break from Main Street to start a project in a new area to automate our woods. And today, we need to fix it all up. We've got the tree farms running, but it looks a right mess. But as well as making all the exterior of this look nice, most importantly, we actually need to add a log flume. And I have laid out some sand blocks to mark roughly where a track could potentially go, but I fully expect this to change as we go along. And to be honest, we might even rebuild some of these farms because currently everything is flat and on the same level, and I'm not really happy with that. We definitely need to be mixing things up a bit and do some terraforming today as well. And as always, I just want to say a huge thank you to Cyberpower UK for sponsoring this episode. But before we can do any of this, we have a bit of a pressing problem in that I want to make sure that the rail here is not visible in certain places, because when it's on a flat and a log flume's going, it just gets pushed by the water. It doesn't actually run on rails. But this is Minecraft, we can't do that, so we have to make it run on rails. And that means I need invisible rails. And the only way to get those is with phantom membrane. Luckily, we do actually get 32 per phantom membrane we get. But yeah, getting phantom membrane, not the easiest thing. Unless you happen to have a little trick up your sleeve and you know a farm designed by Crimulus, which I do. So that's what we're going to build. I will actually link to that in the description, so do go check it out. And I think we'll probably just do what we... actually. Oh, that's a massive distraction if we do that, though. I was about to say we might just make ourselves another pop-up pocket phantom farm thing like we did last season, then we can just plonk it down whenever we need it and get phantoms. But this is going to be the fantasy district, and I've just had an idea. Oh, it's going to completely throw off this episode, though, if I do it now. And I should probably turn these farms off for now as well. Look, they're overflowing. Let's just flick some switches. Right, I'm getting massively distracted, and we've not even started the episode. Phantom farm. Do I just do a small pocket farm? Or do I do a proper phantom farm? Because this is the fantasy district, or at least it will be. There's going to be all kind of medieval fantasy and so on, hence why there's no electricity or extractor fans in our lovely log farm. And to allay the concerns of some people, that's also why we've got wooden open flame sconces directly under, the massive fire hazard. But don't worry about that, it's fine. I'm going off on tangents all over the place today. But what I was going to say is we could do a permanent phantom farm, and I wonder if we'd maybe make some kind of wizard tower type thing, and then we have the phantom farm at the top, because that means when the phantom farm's running, the outside of the tower is going to have loads of phantoms flying around it, and that's just going to look awesome. Is that something I should do today? No. We're going to stay focused today. I'm just going to make a little pocket phantom farm for now. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? Should I make some kind of big wizard tower in the middle of the forest here that is also a phantom farm? I don't know. I suppose it would fit with the area. Anyway, stop getting distracted, Beardy. Let's build this small little phantom farm. And thankfully, it's quite easy to build. So first thing I'm going to do is raise this up a bit so we can make it portable. And then we're going to put a glass floor in. Then we're going to build this up all the way around on pretty much every side, just like this. Temporary block there with a fence on top. Get rid of that. In fact, I'm going to be a little bit smarter. I do actually need to raise this up one more level, and yeah, I need more glass as well. That was poorly planned. Let's go get some. All right, let's try that again. So we want temporary block there with an iron bar, and then we need another temporary block on top with 4 more iron bars. Move this and this, so you should have something like this. Then going to stretch these iron bars round into a square. Next up, we need some fence gates. I'm just going to use spruce ones here because that's what I've got. We're going to put these all around the outside here. Thank you, doggo. Hey, don't shoot the dog. Not very nice. I should probably sleep. Oh, wait a minute, why did I just sleep? I'm building a phantom. I need to not sleep. Oh, I'm such an idiot.
I'm a cotton-headed ninny muggins.
So I've got all those fence gates around the side and open, and if I remember correctly, I need to stick additional ones on the ends here. Something like that. Now, I need to use more temporary blocks around this circle like this. And then we need even more fence gates, so we'll get those on and open. We don't need to worry about putting them on the corners this time. And now I can just remove all of these temporary blocks. Then I need more glass around these bars here like this. And that is literally it. That's the farm. The only thing we need to do now is to add water. So if I was to put this in on these corners, so there, and there, and there, and there. then there we go. That is literally it. That is our phantom farm. Nice and simple. What I'll do is I'll just stick a door on there so we're safe at night. And I also need a trapdoor in here. Let's just put that in there like that. And then to get the farm to run, we just stand up here on this trapdoor, wait for the phantoms to come in, and then they basically all fly into this water bit. They get trapped, and then you can just, well, deal with the situation, I guess, which is wonderful. But we do want to make this a transportable farm. I don't want to leave it here because, well, it looks horrific here, doesn't it? Let's be honest, it's not going to fit in at all. And the way we're going to do that is by sticking everything together here, and we'll stick the top section together as well. But there is a slight problem in that this rod here, this one right here, doesn't actually touch any other blocks. And there's also a bit of a problem in that this top section does not touch the bottom section. So in order to make this contraption portable, what we need to do is put temporary blocks where the water sits. So we're just going to cover the water back up again now that I've shown how it works. And that'll attach the top to the bottom. And then we'll stick another temporary block there, and then that's going to attach that bar in the middle to everything else. And now when I do this, it is actually all stuck together, which is exactly what we want. Almost all stuck together. I've forgotten to do these bits here. And let's just quickly get these in as well. All right, now I think we've got it all stuck together. Perfect. So if we go underneath, stick a block on the corner and just break this corner glass block here, we don't actually need that. And what I can do is stick that there, stick down a cart contraption. As usual, we'll lock rotation. We don't want it to start spinning. Give that some power, and I need to give it a minecart. But I don't have a minecart on me, and it appears I don't have any iron either. So yeah, let's go get one of them. So let's stick a minecart in there, and yoink. Look at that. Perfect. Now, in a few more days, we'll actually be able to make use of that. But in the meantime, I guess we can start on other things we need to do around here. There's a lot to get done. So I'm trying to work out the order I want to do things here in order to try and get this working. Jumping in was not the idea. And to be honest, I think I really do need to be laying the track first and working out a big chunk of that before I can actually start working out the things that are going to go around it, how the terrain's going to look, where we're going to be putting additional buildings, and so on. Which means the only things we can really do in the meantime are design the actual log boat, because it doesn't matter what kind of rail we do that on, but we can also solve a couple of problems I've been meaning to solve, but just keep getting distracted by other things. But we need to wait another couple of nights before we can use our phantom farm, so I think we're going to go do that now. We're going to do some backpack upgrades. I know, I should have done this months ago. But over here, I believe we do have a couple of pieces of netherite. We're going to need a whole bunch of diamonds as well, but I think we've got a couple of bits of netherite here somewhere. Ah, there it is. Yep, 2 ingots. So that should do what we need it to do. I also need some leather. Ah, we've only got 3 leather. That could be a problem. That's better. 29 leather. That should do the trick. Okay, so first up, I need to duplicate this netherite upgrade because we've only got 1, and I believe I just do that with one of those, and a whole bunch of diamonds. Is that right? Nope, that's not right. Oh, come on. It was right, but it's not a shapeless recipe. So let's just get a bunch of these. I mean, we only need 2 of these for now, but it's good to have backup. And then I don't think we actually have a smithing table here, do we? Let's quickly get one of those. And what I want to do is upgrade both of these backpacks, which is my create backpack and my normal one. And now look at that, we've got more slots, but more importantly, we've got 2 more upgrade slots, and that's what I really need right now. So let's get ourselves some upgrade bases. We need string still. I don't have any in there, which means I'm gonna have to go all the way to the mob farm just to get myself a little bit of string. Yoink. Right, now we can make some of these. We only need maybe 3 or 4. That should be enough. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually upgrade my stack tiers that we've got here. So we're going to put that one in there and upgrade that to diamonds. And we're going to do the same with this one here. Although I need more diamonds. There we go. So now we can hold a lot more stuff in our backpack. Each slot can hold 16 times what it usually can. That's good. And now I need to make one of these, a feeding upgrade. You've all been screaming at me for months to do this, and I keep meaning to. I just hadn't got round to it. So what do we need? Golden apple, golden carrot, glistering melon, and an ender pearl. Right, well, we have an ender pearl. That's a good start. We have a carrot. We have an apple. Don't have any melon. Oh, dear. Yeah, there's no melon anywhere. We're going to have to go to a jungle to get some melon. Thankfully, there's one not too far away. And although there's a thunderstorm going on, we're going to have to put up with it because I can't sleep. I need my phantoms. Ah, there we go. Melon. Hello. And while we glide our way back, let's actually make some of these things. So, golden apple. I think you have to actually use gold bars for those, right? Yep, there we go. We need nuggets for the carrot, and I believe it's also nuggets for the melon. I guess we're about to find out. It is. Wonderful stuff. Now we can make a basic feeding upgrade, but I would like to make that a bit fancier. So, yeah, we need to go get ourselves a bit of redstone. All right, so there we go. That's our feeding upgrade. And what this does is it will automatically feed me edible things from my backpack whenever I'm hungry. So I don't need to worry about eating anymore, which means you can stop shouting, eat at the screen. See, look, I'll do it all for you. And we've still got one upgrade slot left, so for now, we might as well chuck our magnet back in there. Something else I'm going to do is just grab a bit of dye for these backpacks so I can tell which one's which. So I can either put pink bits on the side or make the entire thing pink, depending where I put the dye. And I think I just want to make it pink. And we'll make this one red. So the red one is random bits and bobs and design bits and copycat panels, and pink is create. Perfect. Although this backpack could also do with a couple more stack upgrades, or better stack upgrades, I should say. So let's quickly make an iron one, then a gold one, and we need to grab a few more diamonds. And there we go. So there we go, we've got the diamond stack upgrade in there. Sadly, I don't have enough diamonds to actually do this one as well, but that'll do for now. I think we only need to wait one more night until we get phantoms now. So I think we'll take this time just to head over to our sort of temporary track making machine we've got over here and change it a little bit, because currently it's going to make narrow rail, and that's just not what we want. So to get this working, what we need to do is remove the saw, extend that belt all the way to there, put that in. Going to need another deployer, so I think that's what I need for a deployer. No, we need an electron tube. Thankfully, we have one of those in here. But that deployer next to this one with a chute on top, barrel on top of that. And for now, I'm just going to make a little bit of normal rail. So if we put iron nuggets in there and then put slabs in here, that should just give us normal spruce rail, I believe. Yep, spruce train track. This is the narrow one. This is the one we're making now. But this setup will also work for the phantom rail when we get that. We just need to, instead of using iron nuggets, we need to use iron bars. And let's just get some bars loaded into those for now. Let's remove the nuggets. And we're going to steal this little bit of track so that we can go and make our boat. Our log boat. Log flume boat? Carriage? Cart? I don't know. The thing we're going to sit in. Right, so let's just chuck down a little bit of rail here for now. We'll build our boat over here. We can move it onto the proper track when it exists, I guess. Going to need a station, create new train, and then we need train casing. So the first thing I know I want is probably to use an invisible bogey. So if I hold down Alt, I can choose all these different kind of things. But yeah, this is the one we want. And, well, that didn't work, did it? Clearly not invisible. Right, I'll click the tick that time. Okay, that worked. With this being a log flume, I think it makes sense to make this look like a log. Genius, I know. So first up, let's just get a little bit of a platform for us to build on. And I think I want the bogey to be pretty much in the middle of the train, and I don't want the train to be too long because, well, the longer it is, the harder it's going to be to get around corners. So we're going to need train controls and a seat for the conductor to sit on. Although I wonder, do conductors work if they're in that kind of a seat? I guess we're going to find out. Okay, let's maybe get 4 seats in. I think that's probably about right. Means we don't need that front block there or that one there. Let's just stick these on the side to form the sides of the log. And for the back of the log, we'll use normal oak wood instead of oak logs, so then we can actually get that little bit there. And same on the front. I mean, I think we're almost there. This is going to be the most basic boat you've ever seen. But it does just kind of want to look like a log, so I guess that makes sense. Although what I want now, it doesn't appear I have access to. Do I have any zinc anywhere? Nope, back to storage it is. And I'm literally down to the dregs of my zinc at the moment. I think I'm going to have about 12 ingots here, which means I'm going to need to go mining again at some point. But this should be okay for the immediate future, because all I need are some of these vertical slices. If we put these here, not only do they round it off ever so slightly, but more importantly, they cover up this dodgy bit on the seats. Then lastly, I'm going to use some of these half panels just to cover up that little bit there of the, what's it called? The bogey. There we go. And I'll tell you what, I think that's all our small little log boat needs. We don't want anything else. We don't want to overcomplicate it. We literally just want it to look like logs going around with people sitting in them. And I think that's as close as we're going to get. And the idea is we'll have a number of these going around at the same time, of course. So, yeah, we're just going to have to sort of duplicate the timetables, make sure they're all running on the exact same timetable so they stay spaced out. And that should work quite nicely. All right, I think I've got all that stuck together. And, yeah, there we go. There's our little log boat. Love it. And it looks like we've got about 5 minutes left to go before we can start harvesting phantoms, because the sun still needs to go down over the horizon. But that will be our 3rd night, so that's good news, I guess. And with that in mind, I think I'm going to go make myself a nice cup of tea, and I'll see you in just a moment when we take care of a whole bunch of phantoms. Night has fallen. I've set up my phantom farm here on top of a tree. I'm just going to wait for some phantoms now and make sure it works. There we go, here they come, and look at that, they've all flown straight into my trap. Now all I have to do is end them. So I guess I'm just going to hang out here for a while, collect myself some phantom membranes, and I'll see you in a couple of in-game days, I reckon. Well, the sun's coming up, I've been here for a couple of nights, and I've got 39 phantom membrane. That should be just about enough. So I just need to pack this away again, so we're going to put these blocks back in the corners, and the block back on top, power it up, and grab it. Let's go. We've already got our machine prepped here, so in theory, I should just be able to do this. And look at that, straight away, we're getting all the phantom rail. There we go, loads of the stuff. Hopefully a lot more than we actually need. And I'm hoping this is all just going to sit nicely at the bottom of the water here. And I'm just going to put in this bit here, because we want to have a bit of a slope. So this is the ramp that's going to take the log boat thing up at the start. And I don't want it to come up far, I just want it to come up a few blocks and then start on its journey. So let's remove some of these blocks. And in fact, let's move the boat as well. We can click to relocate that. And then let's chuck the boat in here. Relocation aborted. Oh no, that's not what we want. And let's try that again. Right, there we go. Our boat is in. And I'll tell you what, I think that's going to be absolutely perfect. Lovely. All right, so I think the best way for me to do this is probably going to be to just start placing a few blocks here and there. Figure out how high up we want it to come at the start. So maybe like this sort of height, because I do want to have it go up a little bit and then dip down a little bit and then weave around these bits. And I guess the downside to using phantom rail instead of something else is that, well, this is a full width rail instead of a narrow one. So I can't turn corners quite as sharply as I would have liked to. So let's just bring that slope up to there. Bring it round a nice sharp corner. And then we're just going to have a little ramp that dips down and then goes around here. So I'm going to get that dug out and I'll bring you back in shortly. Out. So I am making some progress, but it does occur to me I've done a little bit of a boo-boo here because this is a log flume, which means it needs water. And if I was to put water in here, it's going to flow downhill that way, which is going to push the water that side the wrong way. Obviously, this is Minecraft. That's not actually going to happen, but logistically, it just wouldn't make sense. So what I actually need to do is rip out this bit of track here, remove all of this. And to be honest, I'm probably going to need to lower this just a little bit to make it make sense. But essentially, I need this to come over, dip down a little bit, then it can start filling with water, and then it needs to go up a tiny bit before it goes down the ramp. So this could take a little bit of working out. I'll see you in a moment. Well, it wasn't easy. I've had to completely rebuild everything, but I think I've actually solved it now. So we've got a proper bit of track here that you can see comes up and connects, and then it switches to phantom rail. I did kind of actually want to do this bit in normal track as well, but for some reason, phantom rail can turn slightly tighter corners than what this can, which is weird. But anyway, it then goes up again, which means that the water can then escape and roll down this hill here, and it just makes a whole lot more sense logistically. And the good news is my little boat fits up here absolutely perfectly. Now I've just got to work out the rest of the route. And to be honest, I think we can get away with having this a little bit shorter. I mean, I want the riders to be able to see things after all, and then that's the level we'll bring the water up to. Yep, that should work nicely. Right, let's work out the rest of this route. This is probably going to take me all afternoon. Well, I'm not going to tell you how long this is taking because it's, well, frankly, it's quite embarrassing, but we are slowly getting there. We've got the base bit of track here that just sort of goes round and then goes up. This is going to then loop round, go round this way, and then dip down, and this is going to go into a bit more of a natural river, which we're going to have flowing in from somewhere over there somewhere, I guess, because I don't want the whole thing just to be tubes like this. I mean, that's just going to look a little bit weird. So it's going to go down into a natural river here. We're going to have another building here of, oh, my days. It's all kicking off. The ride's not open yet, children. You must leave. Get out of it. So, as I was saying, we're going to put a building down here. This is going to be something else to do with the wood yard in some form or another. We're going to have a nice mill on the side of it and so on, just as an area of interest, really, because we do need to make sure that as this ride goes round, we've got things to see, things to look at, and so on. And with that in mind, once we get to the end of the river, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building some kind of a hillside mini mountain. I don't really know. I haven't quite decided yet, but we do need to have a big drop on this flume somewhere on this log ride. So what I want to do is go into the mountain here. We'll probably have some interesting stuff inside, some kind of dioramas and whatnot, and then it's going to go up a great big slope, and then after that, it's going to do the big drop. But yeah, I have the strangest feeling this could take quite a while. But as it had been about 3 hours since the last clip, I figured it made sense to actually give you a little bit of an update of where we're at here. And of course, we are going to make this look good. We're going to blend it into the terrain. I've had a little play around just with some shapes at the back here. I think maybe some stairs and slabs underneath to hide the mud would actually work quite well. But yeah, with what blocks we're actually going to use, I have not as yet decided. Oh, geez, right, okay, I need to sleep, clearly. I suppose it's not like I need any more phantom membrane. I just need to find somewhere to nap. Right, okay. Ha! That's what you get. Burn. Right, anyway, where was I? What do I want to work out next? I mean, to be honest, apart from mud, I'm actually getting quite low on resources as well, so I should probably go turn my spruce farm back on and just carry on laying out this track. I'll bring you back in when hopefully this is looking a little bit more track-like, maybe even a little bit polished, but who knows. There's so much to do, I can't even decide what direction to go in right now, so I think I'm just going to have a cup of tea and mull it over for a bit. And turn the spruce farm back on. More spruce, please. So following the last clip, I had a bit of a crisis of confidence with this project, partly due to how long it's taking just to put in this route, but also with how I'm actually going to integrate the tree farms better, as they're not really doing it for me at the moment, if I'm honest. But following a 2-hour discussion with MrsB and a couple of cups of tea, I've revised my plan for the route and tree farms, and I think I know how I'm going to make this an awesome attraction. The downside is there's no chance of me getting it all done in this episode, so we're going to focus mainly on getting the route in and probably building that mountainish area behind me, as that's going to kind of dictate how the rest of this area is going to lay out and how it's going to look, and really should help set the tone here. And then we're going to be focusing on all of the immersive elements, the sound design, and of course the extra buildings and things we need to put in, most likely in the next episode. As I say, we're probably not going to have time to get it all done in this one. It takes so long to put in the dang route. But anyway, let's get in here, and we're going to carry on with the route where we are. I do need to make a small change. I need to get rid of that kink there. I don't really know why I put that in, and now it's just really annoying me, so that's going to have to go. And then we're going to sort out this bit where it goes into the mountain, which is going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, I think I really want to fix that first. It's bugging me. I mean, why did I even do that? It's just not needed. Okay, so I've sorted the kink over there. It's all looking a lot smoother and a lot better. We like that. And now what we're going to do is sort out the cave entrance. And one of the issues I was having before I had a little chat with MrsB was, well, this is a log flume. We need a great big drop somewhere. And obviously that's going to come down off the side of the mountain. That just makes sense. But there's not a lot of space here. And it was a question of how am I actually going to get people to the top in time? Because it takes quite a lot of space to go up, and it takes an equal amount of space to come back down again. But we have come up with a solution, and it's gonna be an interesting one. So the first thing I need to do is get this track going straight. So somewhere around here, hopefully I'll be able to put it down. Anywhere? Oh, I just don't have enough track, I see. Right, now we can see what we're doing. So if we were to get rid of that, have that block come into there, what we're actually going to do is we're going to spiral down underground, and we're going to get lower, and then we're going to swoop back around this way. Then we're going to be basically a lot lower, pretty much in the same position we would have been for the start of the ramp anyway, but because we're going to be so much lower, we've got a lot more space to work with. At least that's the hope. So what I need to do is figure out where this rail can turn to. So it looks like it's going to be this block here maybe. Let me just remove a bit of this. So a turn will bring it to there, and I'm hoping we can go down 3 blocks, still get the rail in. I should be able to get that in there. Let's just quickly uncover it so we can see what's happened here. I mean, we're going to have a lot of tidying up to do once we've actually got this in, but for now, let's just see if we can actually get the track where we want it to go. That's looking good so far. Now what I need to do is go, I think it's 3 blocks that way, and then 3 blocks this way maybe. Maybe 4. Just make a bit of space. But I want to get this bit of track here going down and round in as tight a circle as possible. So if we do that trick again, find out exactly where it needs to be to make the corner, which is going to need more space. I guess it must be 4. No, it's not 4, it's actually 5 blocks. If we go 5 blocks this way and 5 blocks this way, that's the tightest corner that I can do with the phantom rail. But with that, I can also go down 3 blocks. As you can see, that green square there is the first one I can place it on, so we're going to do that. Now we'll just do the same thing again, go 5 and 5, and then spiral down, and we'll just keep doing this until we've got a full circle. And a short while later, I think I've got this spiral in. It should work absolutely fine. Although, obviously, I've got a lot of terraforming to do around there. It's going to look absolutely horrific for quite a while, I think. But what I do need to do is go and grab my little log boat up here and see if it actually works. Essentially, I need to see if I'm going to suffocate or not as I use that thing. Right, let's go. Just go nice and fast around this bit, get to where we need to be. Obviously, it's not going to go that fast in the actual ride. Okay, right, so let's see. Does this work? No. Oh, I'm suffocating on that bit of floor. Okay. I'm going to suffocate here as well by the looks of it. Let me get into first person view. Yep. A little bit of suffocation. Yep. Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, a fair amount of suffocation in a fair amount of places. We obviously need to raise the ceiling. But then once we get around the corner to here, this is where we're going to start going up. Just quickly get this out of the way and back to the top, and we'll dig out a little bit more just so we can actually ride this down here, because we're going to need to be doing, we're going to need to be doing a lot of, testing, There we go, bit of a higher ceiling. That should make things a bit easier. Now to sort out this, and the first thing we're going to do is stick an angled bit of track there, because we know that that's the highest angle we can actually go at, 45 degrees, and now we just need to dig. Lots and lots of digging. Well, I think that should be tall enough for our drop, but before I can figure out exactly where it's going to drop and what we're going to do at the top here before it drops, I think I need to actually build this mountain, which is going to be a huge job. I haven't built a mountain in a very long time, so yeah, it might not go very well either, but I guess we don't know unless we start placing blocks, do we? So, how to build mountain. I think the first thing I want to do is actually extend it out this way a little bit further. Maybe I want it to come out to like, I'm thinking I want the drop to go down this way, so maybe out to like here or so on the bottom end. And then if we just put down a rough sort of shape here. Oh, the back's going to be fun, isn't it? Right, let's just carry on, make a random shape for now. This will probably change as we go along, but we just need to get a basic framework in so we can kind of envisage the mountain a little bit better. And although it might look a little bit odd with just sort of one mountain poking out, this is a theme park. It's not supposed to look too natural, so yeah, I think we can probably get away with it. When we're going to have fun doing the coastline here as well, we're going to have to put in a great big cliff on this side of it. And we will, of course, do the back of the mountain as well, but yeah, it probably won't be as detailed as the front, I'd imagine. But who knows? Let's just see what happens. Alrighty, well, that shape's making me feel a little bit better about things. Now, what I'm going to do is put in some of the main sort of structural bits here. We're going to just essentially find the high point, and then we're going to connect loads of bits to it, and then do the same over here for the sort of smaller hilly bits. And that should give us a skeleton for our mountain, and then we can just sort of go along and connect all these bits together, and my hope is that that's going to result in lovely mountain. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But I'm thinking maybe something around that sort of height should work nicely. How's that going to look from way over there? Where's me rockets? There they are. Oh, geez. No, I can fly, honest. So from over this way, that should actually work out quite nicely. We could maybe go a little bit higher as we sort of get the other bits up, but yeah, I like that. It's not too overpowering, which was my main concern. Now we just need to get a bunch more of these bits in, connect them all near the top somewhere, and hope for the best. So I believe this is the point where YouTubers always say trust the process. And I have to admit, I'm struggling to trust the process at the moment, but I'm sure this will work out just fine. I do have a rough framework in. We're going to have sort of a flat area here, potentially with a building on, and then we've got kind of the mountain ridgeline goes up like this. We've got a couple of little peaks at the top there, a little bit too rounds there. But I do think this could work quite nicely. I'm just not sure if I should have it pointy at the top there, or if I should just smooth it off and have it almost like a giant sort of rock thing. I don't really know. What I do know is we've got a whole lot of blocks to place, and I think I'm just going to start maybe down here somewhere, and I'm just going to work my way up the mountain, and hopefully next time I see you, we'll have at least some kind of a solid shape here, which we're no doubt then going to have to make lots of changes to, because it's probably going to look janky and weird. I'm about an hour and a half in, and I think that's actually coming out okay. It looks a bit repetitive in some places, but we'll mess that up and break that all up later. I'm not too concerned about that. But the overall shape, if we jump into free cam here, I think is looking pretty good, and this platform is going to be very handy for a little bit of scenic interest, I would imagine. And not only have I done the front, I've also been a good content creator. Look, I've been doing the back as well as I go along, so it doesn't become a massive massive chore at the end. So we've just got this tool bit here to do now to get the basic shape in, and then we're gonna have to think about how we're actually gonna make it look good. But shape-wise, I'm very pleased with it so far. Let's crack on. After about 3 hours of block placing in total, we are just about done, at least with the basic shape. There's lots of squareness that we need to sort out. There's a bit of repetitiveness that we'll fix as well, and apparently there's a little hole there. Oh, that's upsetting. But as a whole, I think this is looking pretty good as a base to work from, because we do, of course, still need to make all of this look nice. And I want to get rid of this really, really square bit here, because that was annoying me. Much better. Right, so now we've got the mountain shape in. We know where the mountain's going to be. We can actually crack on with the rest of the rails. So if we go in here, we've got lots of tidying up to do in here. We need to lower the floor level to this sort of level for a start, but we'll worry about that later. For now, we need to get up there and figure out what we're going to do with the rail next. I've done it. I think I've figured out the whole route, and it should hopefully work. We're just going to jump in the little boat here now and go on a test. Just use your imagination and pretend it all looks pretty and nice. And we'll need to put in all the speed changes and everything as well, of course. For now, we're just going to go round fairly fast. So we're going to go up the lift here. We're going to go round up this lift, and then we're going to dip down into this little channel here. This channel's going to go all the way round, then we're going to go up again, and then another little channel that sort of goes round. So this is the boring start bit of the actual ride itself before all the thrill aspects, but we're going to have lots of scenery, lots of stuff for the people to look at that are on the ride, because obviously it's going to be going a lot slower than I currently am. We're then going to drop down here into this river. This is going to go round, more stuff to look at, and then this is where the thrill ride starts. You go zooming down here around this spiral, and then we're going to have an awesome scene in here, but I'm not going to give you any spoilers on that just yet. And then we go up through the mountain. Once again, the scene from down there is going to continue up here, and hopefully it's going to be quite epic when we're done. And then we just sort of swoop round over here, and then this is the big drop. This is the one that's going to go all the way down into a big lake. And you may notice I've removed the mangrove farm. It was kind of in the way there, but I do want to relocate a couple of these bits anyway, so that's not really an issue. And then we're going to go round in a natural river all round this way, and then this is all going to look lovely at the start of the ride, because obviously those stairs right there, that's where people are going to start the queue. So yeah, we need to make all this look nice, and then we go over this bit here and back to the start. And it's taken me over 2 days just to get that track in, so yeah, making it all look nice, that's going to be a really big thing for us to do in the next episode. But sadly, that is all we've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye now.